Welcome to Three the Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weed, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, live on YouTube. Please leave a like on the stream, comment to join the discussion, and subscribe to the channel. We are on the way to that 200 done, so help us get there, man. We're a little bit late, a lot of bit late because of a variety of reasons. But what's important is that we here. You know what I'm saying? We here. We are doing our show today. And it's top 10 season, man. We're doing top 10 point guards today. So I don't want to waste nobody's time because we all got double duty today on the LBR network. So we're doing Three the Hardaway here, and then we're also doing an NFC East breakdown over on LBR. So if you like LBR, we got them back to back like Kobe and Shaq, man. So let's get into it. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket, providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got the coach on the sidelines, take them to school on and off the court. When I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, what's good, man? And you muted. Here we go.
My fault. Cutoff game strong, MLGW. You get the emphasis right there. FYI.
The fact that you have that shirt is crazy to me. Cutoff game strong. We also got your favorite DJ's favorite DJ, the sample man himself, Mr. Ted Shakir, too. What's good?
What's going on, y'all? Hey, double entendre with the shirt as well, Sheedy. There is no wide main. I'm gonna continue to let people know that, and I'm ready for all the smoke and all the war that's gonna happen within the next few hours of Let's Be Real Media, because this episode is gonna come with trolling from y'all, and it's all in the next episode. Make sure y'all tune in Let's Be Real for real, because these two fellas will be talking about why their teams are the best teams on the NFC East. So. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. But I'm ready for all the smoke right now, dog. What's good?
Just
y'all?
Basketball right now. We're just gonna talk
basketball right now.
Basketball
y'all trolls gonna come and troll the whole people that's listening. Mess up their listening experience, but I'm here for the fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's fun at the end of the day, man. That's all we doing. Speaking of fun, I know Mr. Sheedy got some NBA trivia, so let's get right into it, man. What's the trivia question for today?
Yes, man. There are some crazy, incredible stats out there, but just really quickly, because we have too much show to go on. There are two Hall of Fame players that got that did not receive Defensive Player of the Year, but were selected to all defensive teams 12 times or more. Who were those two players that never got Defensive Player of the Year, but were honored to be on all defensive teams at least 12 times?
12 times?
Kobe for sure, right?
Kobe's one.
Okay, I knew Kobe because Kobe, he made hella teams.
Tony Allen? I don't know if it's that many.
Hall of Famer.
Hall of Fame. You're right.
I want to look. Okay, Isaiah Thomas, Pistons.
No, sorry.
Damn.
Got to play for 12 years.
Chris Paul?
No.
Well, are they current Hall of Famer?
They're current Hall of Fame.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like guards because they don't really give.
And he said they're guards, right?
I didn't say they were guards.
I didn't. Did Shaq ever make Defensive Player of the Year? I know I'm kind of.
Actually, I think he did in that old.
And probably like the early 2000s. Yeah, probably 2000.
Yeah, that dominant they had.
I'm just thinking of like players that played for 12 years or longer.
Right. I'm like, I knew it was Kobe because Kobe had so many. I just knew.
Of course.
LeBron?
Nope.
On a defensive team? Shit, he ain't even been on one defensive team. You better chill with that.
Oh, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. In there.
I guess that's a whole other thing. That's
a whole other thing. We said in the Hall of Fame now, not still busting.
Oh, that's right. LeBron got 5 of them, man. He put some respect on. He got 5 of them. Oh man. What era? What era is this person from?
Yeah, help us out.
The most recent one. I mean, he's recently been retired in the past, I'll give you 5-6 years.
Damn. Tim Duncan?
There you go.
Oh, okay.
What?
Tim
Duncan never.
Kobe Bryant won 12. Tim Duncan won 15 and never got Defensive Player of the Year. What up, Von?
Can't believe
Von, make sure you check in that 5.
You said what, too?
I said best power forward to ever play the game. Never got the best player. That's crazy.
No argument for me, man. All right, so let's get right into it, man. Speaking of the best in the game, this week is top 10 point guards week. So last year, I didn't have time to go back and watch last year's video. I know that Tevin did, and I don't know if you have any comments from what we said last year.
Y'all went hella trouble.
I said something about Jalen Brunson where I said he couldn't tie up Damon Stoudemire's shoes or some shit. I said,
hold on. I'm gonna find a
We were just starting a show. We were
man.
trying to get some clickbait here, okay?
Hey, I believe that. I believe that. I was like, nah, he ain't that good, but he balled out.
The statement was, I don't think Brunson could tie up Damon Stoudemire's shoes. Your exact words.
Hey.
And that could tell you how a season can change. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We were all kind of critical on Brunson
on
whether or not he can live up to that contract. And I say even by now, yeah, they got their point guard for the future. They don't need no Dame Lillard, so stop with that BS, Stephen A. They don't need Donovan Mitchell. He giving them the keys to the franchise. Let's rock with him.
Yep.
Yeah, let's be honest here. No disrespect. I mean, we're going to talk about this later, but they didn't lose their series against Miami because of Jalen Brunson.
Nah. Oh, hell no. He was open.
Yeah.
Another person y'all shitted on, was Aaron Fox.
Yes, we did.
I had reason to. He was getting buckets
before last year. What did he do?
Yeah,
he was
getting
hooping.
buckets on trash team.
He was just not a favorite because he didn't have a team around him.
It's easy to put up stats when ain't nobody around you and you're still in last place in the division.
Yeah.
You're supposed to put up stats.
Let's go into this. I'm happy he said that. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
What helped him is getting Mike Brown, which is a legitimate coach who has finals experience with the Cavs and the Warriors. So that kind of helped them turn their fortunes around, at least as a holistic team. But I mean, Fox is still hooping. Absolutely.
Yes.
He's definitely going to be on the list, on somebody's list today, I'm sure. So last year we kind of did it like half and half to start. I'm fine if y'all want to just list them off and then rock with it. How y'all feeling?
I like the half and half combo we were having.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
it's like, dang, you got him at 8?
At 8, yeah.
Yeah.
We also got a side honorable mention too.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay. Say less.
Yeah.
Say less.
Look, man.
I'm gonna let Shitty rock first.
Podcast, damn it.
I'm gonna let Shitty rock first. Then who your honorable mention, Shitty?
Listen, you thought the fans gonna hate you too? They're gonna hate me.
Oh, he got to get his camera right and his glasses right.
Yeah, man. The cutoff game about to be strong. You feel me?
My name is Shitty, and I said
they are going to hate me after what I have to say, and that's fine. My honorable mention is going to go to James Harden. I'm saying James Harden as an honorable mention. 1, he is listed as a point guard. 2, he's in turmoil right now, so we're not even sure when and where he'll start his season. So I'm giving him honorable mention, and I want people to remember how good he can be at the point guard position. The man led the NBA in assists, and I think was second in assists when he was in Brooklyn. And so, say what we want to, talent-wise, he's getting the ball where it needs to go. Y'all gonna really hate me when I start here. Let me see where I got cut off. All right, 10. Right now, I got Damian Lillard.
Woo! Wait.
You need reasons. Yes.
All right.
He's not on anyone's team per se right now. He is pretty much on Portland. Who knows what Portland's going to do? What if he is to sit out this entire season? Then I really shouldn't put him on the 10 to begin with. They put that man on ice for the remainder, 20 plus games of the regular season. He didn't even have a chance to amplify where he was at when we said that him and Anthony Simons are one of the top backcourts in the league. But I digress. Yes, I have him at 10. Number 9, again, y'all gonna hate me for this. I don't really care. Mr. Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal. He is listed as a point guard now. He has moved to the point guard position.
I never would have put that one on. God damn.
He's going to be decent. I mean, you're going to have to cover Kevin Durant. You're going to have to cover Devin Booker. It's going to leave open spots for Beal to cook and to assist at times. So, yes, I'm putting Bradley Beal at 9 for now. I think someone will be more credible for his team. Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers, a full year with him, with the system, with Rick Carlisle. I really like what the Pacers are doing. The Pacers will be in the playoffs this season. Not in the play-in, they will be in the playoffs. And that's 10, 9, 8. Oh, 7. This man, I feel like, is upset at the world, and he may go up a little bit higher on some other list. This man's name is Trey Young. Trey Young at 7 wasn't on the FIBA team, wasn't asked to be there. He's been training with Steph Curry, who may be on other people's lists a little bit higher. We'll see moving forward. I think Trey Young has something to prove. Trey Young necessarily carried his team against the 76ers team and won with the Hawks without DeJounte Murray. And to your point that you made before, Savage, the DeJounte Murray and Trey ain't going to really work out. Kind of like how the Dame Lillard and CJ McCollum didn't quite work out. But I digressed there. So that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, right? So we stop at 6?
Yep.
6, I have Mr. De'Aaron Fox at number 6. Some people think the Kings will make the playoffs this upcoming season. I say they will. I say that beam is still lighting, and until further notice, they will continue to light that beam. De'Aaron Fox, I even think he was an injury away. The Kings were injury away from doing better in the playoffs. Hurting your finger, and you're the primary ball handler and shooter for your team was very tumultuous, so to speak, for him. So again, 6, De'Aaron Fox. 7, Trey Young. 8, Tyrese Halliburton. 9, Bradley Beal. And 10, Damian Lillard.
No, I can't believe that.
Go ahead, Toop.
All right, let me fix myself up like Shitty did. So for honorable mention, of course, you threw Bradley Beal, which I honestly didn't think about, but everything you just said was spot on about him. And of course, I do think the Suns are going to be successful. Just that chemistry is going to matter, but you do got those 3 ballers who literally just want to get on the court and win. So the fact that they'll be doing it together, I think could be something special out here. But for honorable mention, y'all, I'm doubling down. Ja Morant. Because
I gotta save you, man. No, I gotta save you.
Ain't no save it. Don't save him. He don't want to be saved. Don't save him. He don't want to be saved. I don't need no damn saving.
Oh my god. Honorable. Go ahead, Toop. Go ahead, man.
Go Shitty off when he said Dame Lillard top 10.
Go ahead.
Dear Memphis, this is for you from 2.
Cut me out now. You ain't gonna cut me off ever.
No, from you. You telling them to cut you off. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, it's so 25 games, y'all. That's a lot of games. I really don't understand. Y'all don't understand what's gonna happen. And he's gonna miss the play-in tournament, which is gonna be for the NBA a bigger part of the beginning of the season. When he comes back, I told y'all I don't expect the Grizzlies to have a good record, and he's gonna fall behind to the point where he may not make the playoffs. I'm saying he won't make the playoffs. So for that reason, and he's not playing 25 games a season, plus we're going to add plus because he's coming back. What's that? 25, 57 games left. He's not going to play all those games either. So I can't put Ja Morant 10. So honorable mention, Ja, you my guy. I love you to death. I'm going to continue to love you. But for the sake of me and my top 10, who I got coming into this season and to finish the season out in this category, I can't see top 10. Not in top. And don't get it twisted. When we saying top 10 point guards, Ja Morant is my top 5 point guard. Don't get it twisted. But we're talking about next season, correct? We're talking about next season, considering the circumstances. He's honorable mention. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And again, I do not have the Grizzlies in the playoffs. So let me actually get into my top 10. So again, I'm sorry with the smoke. Y'all gonna call me what you want, but I got the stats to back it up. Last year, this point guard averaged 20 points a game, and yet his team was number 1 in the Western Conference the entire season. I'm talking about Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray may be in y'all top 5 point guards, and it's cool, especially in playoff time. That's what we get. The Miami Heat are a playoff team. Therefore, we can have certain expectations when things are to rise. But for the regular season, I don't expect, honestly, much of a jump from Jamal Murray. Will it be an all-star?
Still can't see it. I think he's gonna still continue to suffer from the Mike Conley effect. But when it comes down to it, yes, Jamal Murray's up there for me. But in the regular season, he got to fall at number 10 because I can't do the list without him. Number 9 for a team, like I said, I'm gonna double down on this one for the team that I do have making the playoffs because particularly of this third-year point guard that I love, Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham, of course, played last season, didn't win much when he played, but we saw the improvement from his rookie season to his second season. I think Cade Cunningham can come in and average 25 and 6, and that'll put him even higher, coming into next season. But for right now, like I said, third-year point guard, average 20.6 rebounds, 6 assists in the 12 games he did play. So that's good enough for the top 10 for me. And then they're going to win more? I may be cutting Cade Cunningham, but top 9 is where I got him. Number 8, second in the NBA in assists, Tyrese Halliburton. He's going to come in with that sniper. I forgot he averaged 20 points a game himself too, but for the average 10 assists as well for a Pacers team outside of the playoff Pistons that I got and outside of, I guess, Savage's Magic too, they're one of the young teams that could really come into, next season and shock the NBA. And I think Tyrese Halliburton coming in with that sniper, the easy sniper that he got and still averaging 10 assists with way better talent around it. The chemistry will be there. I think we may be cutting Halliburton short as well, Sheedy. Number 7, I do got my guy, talked about him earlier in the podcast, Jalen Brunson. Yes, again, I apologize for all the smoke we were talking about last season coming into the season, but it was there, you know what I'm saying? But for me to have you top 7, you know what I'm saying? You average 24 a game, top 5 in point guards in 3-point percentage, let them up can fly. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, we're going to talk about teams later on in the podcast, but in my opinion, I think the Knicks will be a top 3 team in the Eastern Conference next season. And I think Jalen Brunson is going to be a big part of that. Number 6, again, we're talking regular season. The Kings are a perfect regular season team, and De'Aaron Fox is the perfect leader for that team. So 6, I got De'Aaron Fox continuing their flow, top 3, top 4 seed in the Western Conference again, regular season and playoffs. Let's see how far they'll go. But again, we're talking about the regular season, and I think he's going to continue to flow and show, why he can average 25 in his sleep, especially on that Kings team. So again, honorable mention, shout out to Bill, shout out to John Moran, I love you. Shout out to Memphis, I love y'all too. Jamal Murray, 10, Cade Cunningham, Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, and De'Aaron Fox.
I don't know why Chitty pointed at me.
Because you got something to say.
Thank you, too. Yeah, I was on you. I think
you got something to say.
Whoa. We'll let you get your 6 and 10, and then we'll talk about everybody's 6 through 10.
Okay.
Nah, he's still on the John Moran shit. He's still on.
Yes.
Because I'm pretty sure y'all got John in the top 5, which
and what's crazy is I know Took ain't bullshit. I know he did.
Yeah, I would not come on this podcast and bullshit you, bro. I wouldn't do that to us. I would do that to you.
Look, most shows, they like, oh, we're gonna just say this to say it. Like, nah, Took is dead ass serious. Took is not even.
Anybody can DM me my Instagram. Let me know. But and if I'm wrong, I have no problem. I want Memphis to be great. Like that's my thing. I don't want Memphis to not make the playoffs. But you're talking to me as a basketball quote unquote analyst. I'm gonna get my analysis on how I feel the Grizz are gonna not succeed next season.
Realistic.
Yeah.
Is what
I ain't mad at it.
I got the Grizz hat on. Stop playing with me, dog.
I'm not mad at it.
Stop playing with me, dog.
All right. So my honorable mention, I actually had a lot of notable point guards outside of my top 10, but I'm not gonna say all of them. I am gonna point out one in particular, and that's Darius Garland, man. It's honorable mention. I'm not sure how it's going to look with him and Spider together. There has been a rumor about Cleveland wanting to trade Darius Garland, and I think that's probably because he's undersized, and I won't say he's inconsistent, but like I feel like Spider is gonna dominate the ball, which kind of makes Darius Garland obsolete, and so I can't feel comfortable putting him in the top 10 for the upcoming season, especially if they decide to trade him. Then things can change, obviously, but like you got 2 undersized guards. Spider is not only ball dominant, but he's also efficient too. So it's like I want the ball to be in Spider's hands and not just Darius Garland. Garland did have like a 50-point game last year at some point, so the man can hoop. He can hoop, absolutely. But I'm wondering, how does his numbers look next year once Mitchell is comfortable with the system? Evan Mobley's getting better. Jared Allen is still there. They got a lot of developing talent, and I don't think that's going to leave room for Garland to get his stats as far as like the scoring part of it. So I get Darius Garland's honorable mention for this upcoming season. My number 10 is Tyrese Halliburton from the Indiana Pacers. I think he's comfortably put himself into the top 10. He did play well today for the Team USA towards the end of the game. But, I mean, he's a walking 40, 50, 90. He can score 20 points. He can dish out 12 assists. He's coming to his own as a player, and I think that next season will be a big season for Indiana. Number 9, I feel like I want to put him outside the top 10, but I'm going to respect it. Trae Young is at number 9. I still say Trae Young. I don't think he's a good fit for Atlanta. I would rather have Murray be the guy in Atlanta, but Trae Young is still there. I don't care if he's mad about not making Team USA. He didn't make it for a reason. Whatever reason that is, he didn't make it for a reason. So Trae Young, great player. He's a pass first ball hog, is what I would call him. Next up is De'Aaron Fox at number 8. Well, I'm laughing for him. I'm dead serious.
Boy gave him a whole
But did
2K.
you pass first ball hog?
He's
A pass first ball hog.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
I thought I was gonna pass it. I'm gonna get it right back.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're right about that. Hey, good one. I like it.
Next up is De'Aaron Fox. I got him at number 8. I personally see a dip for the Kings because I feel like teams are going to be able to expect them to be good this year. And so you're going to be able to get up for the Kings when they come to town and when you go into Sacramento. So he's a clutch player of the year. I respect that. But if you're a clutch player of the year, that means that games were tight in the fourth quarter, which means that those games could have gone either way. Great player, De'Aaron Fox, but will that be the same case next year? We'll see. So I got De'Aaron Fox as my number 8. At number 7, this is where I have Jalen Brunson for the New York Knicks. I think that Brunson matters a whole lot more to his team than the guys underneath him. Like Sheedy mentioned before, like they didn't lose that series because of Jalen Brunson. He was out there hooping. And I think that Brunson, with him being on Team USA, speaks volumes about who he is as a player and as a leader. And I think that New York is satisfied with maybe not getting Spider Mitchell, but they got Miles Morales and Jalen Brunson. So they'll be okay with Brunson as their main person. And at number 6 is where I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think that Shai has the ability to get into that top 5. I think he can get there, but I gotta see him do it in the postseason. I have to see him do it in the postseason before I can comfortably get him in the top 5. Dude, talented. He rebound, play defense, assist, score, clutch, all those things. That shit don't matter in the regular season, bro. Like, all right, you've been in the league for what, 4 or 5 years now? It's time to show and prove. And he can do that this year with a better team. They just signed the coach to an extension. Chet is here. You got both Jalen Williams, you got Lou Dort, you got Josh Giddey. It's a great young team around him that should, in my opinion, mimic what the Grizzlies did, a couple years ago with Ja, Jaren, and Bane. So that's where I got SGA at number 6. So again, my 6 through 10, SGA, Jalen Brunson, De'Aaron Fox, Trae Young, and Tyrese Halliburton.
Where do we even start? Where do we go from here?
It's like I low-key want to talk about our 6 through 10 and honorable mention, but then I'm sitting here looking at my list and hearing what y'all said, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, damn, it's only 5 more slots.
Yeah,
and we can all
people not on this list.
We can all guarantee all got 2 people for sure.
For sure.
Up in this top 5. We know 2 players, which really means there's only 3 names left from everybody. My fault. Go ahead, too.
Nah, you good. And that's a crazy point because it just saw how talented the point guards are. But speaking of talent point guards, y'all both had Trae Young on y'all list. And obviously, well, ain't no obvious. I do not have Trae Young on my list because Trae Young, he puts up all-star, he puts up MVP level numbers. Oh, damn it. 26 and 10. But do he get the respect from people like us? Do we get the respect from his peers? Do we get the respect of people that he's on the court with? I gotta say no, because he put up those numbers and he wasn't even an all-star last year.
Empty calories.
So it's like y'all said, he's a pass first ball hog, and it makes perfect sense. So yeah, I appreciate y'all for putting Trae Young in y'all top 10. But for me, if I'm looking at it and all 3 of us can agree that the Hawks can go another way as far as point guard go, I can't put you in my top 10.
That's cool with me. He barely made it for me. Like, I'm doing that out of respect for him and his game and his history. But that 9-10 area means it can go either way. You can easily, if you have a bad year, you out of there. I'm not effing with it no more. So
Yeah, and of course, I mean, I have him a little bit higher, but I also have him more higher than what Savage has him higher than because I believe in. I think he'll be more motivated this upcoming year, no matter what team he's on. And to everyone's point, I just don't think it's working out in Atlanta for him. It worked out for one season, right? One season we made it to East
that was
Conference.
kind of a fluke.
Yeah, I call it what it is. So let's just round out these three, realistically.
He said 3.
Because we gonna be honest. We all got 2 names for sure.
Yep.
But my list is gonna be. Well, you'll see why I got the players and why I got them. I'm about to say number 6. Excuse me, number 5 because I put this in Excel and I did that wrong. Number 5, I do have Jamal Murray. I said I was gonna put him as a top 5 point guard. I saw what he did in the playoffs. I get that. Regular season wasn't really him per se, as well as he could have done. But I think we do have to take a part or be a part of something that happened within the playoffs because at the end of the day, you want your player or these players to be going against the best talent that is there and taking their teams there. And unfortunately, that also kind of moves one of the guys that we're going to talk about here later off my list. But regardless of the fact, Jamal Murray, they don't win that championship without Jamal Murray. There were times when Joker didn't have it. There were times when other players didn't have it. And Jamal Murray carried this team on multiple occasions for the Nuggets. So I'm going to put Jamal Murray at 5. Similar point here. I got Jalen Brunson at 4. I think he's got a lot. I think the Knicks are going to get rid of Julius Randle this upcoming season and truly give the keys to Jalen Brunson. And because they're doing that, I believe he will excel even more, and they're going to see why they should have voted him to be an All-Star last season for that. And, I mean, if nothing else, we should have seen what he did in the playoffs against the Cleveland Cavaliers, right, against the Darius Garland, and even against the Heat. I'm going to be sitting here honest, man, putting up 30-plus points on a defensive-minded team. And the game was only going to almost 100 points, if even that. So we couldn't really stop him per se, and you're talking about one of the better defensive teams in the league. And so let
me ask you this real quick. Can you see him being an all-star starter?
In the East?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's based on popularity, no.
I think you
even
have
in New York, though? Even in New York?
Who your top 4 sheet? Well, I guess you got to finish.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. Yeah,
I'm like Luka's in the West, Steph is in the West, Dame, John in the West. Who in the East? That's
what I'm like. I'm thinking about it now.
Yeah. As I look at my list, yeah, man.
He might.
So he should be. He should be. So yes, I retract my statement. And I'll say yes. The rest of these players belong in the West, so just go ahead and get ready for that. Number 3 to me in this upcoming season will be SGA for the Thunder. I think the Thunder, 1, will be a playoff team. 2, SGA could have been 2nd team All-NBA last season. It was 3rd team instead. Maybe voters voting and not knowing what greatness SGA was doing will be the rookie of the year this upcoming season for the Thunder. The Thunder are a better team, and they're a better team because they're going to be led by SGA this upcoming season, and they will be in the playoffs. Just the same way they'll be in the playoffs. That's number 3. Here we go. 1 and 2.
SGA made first team last year.
He made first team All-NBA?
Yep.
I lied.
Put some respect on my guy name, man. Come on.
He was 3rd team All-NBA.
I'll look it up real quick. First team, what year was this? 23. I got to scroll all the way down.
Shit, damn near job.
Let's see. 2023.
SGA
was first team. Second team was Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. And then 3rd team was, they got Fox and Lillard on 3rd team. So, yeah. Okay. But he was first team.
Well, perfect. Well, first team All-NBA honors, which is the regular season award, then we should be putting SGA a little bit higher. And I got him at 3. And here we go. 1, 2. 2, I got Luka Doncic. For me, the Mavs are definitely in the playoffs. This is definitely a playoff team. And Luka Doncic is still one of the most unstoppable players in the league, behind the man that is Wardell. Wardell is number 1 for me, Steph Curry. And I had to think too, like I think I think, and I'm gonna prophesize this for you because I went to church a couple weeks in a row now. I'm gonna prophesize. What if this Warriors team becomes like that? I think it's like 2015, 16, 17, one of those seasons where Steph Curry was scoring like 40, 50 points and not even playing in the fourth quarter, right? I think you're gonna get to that this upcoming season with the Warriors. And so I got Steph Curry at 1, again Luka at 2, SGA 3, Brunson 4, and Jamal Murray at 5.
I love what you said about Steph Curry, and we're gonna talk more about him. Number 5, Sheedy, I got beef with you. I can't believe it. You got the Mavericks actually making the playoffs, and it's because of Luka Doncic, but it's gonna be because of Kyrie Irving as well. And you didn't have Kyrie Irving on your list. So if Kyrie Irving ain't a top 10 point guard, will the Dallas Mavericks still make the playoffs? Yes. Okay. Oh, you put too much on Luka, but it is
maybe
what
he
it is.
traded again. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe
I don't know. But y'all know me. I will never, ever, 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 ever do a top 5 list without Kyrie Irving being on it until he started declining and stuff like that. Y'all know me. But at the same time, he was top 5 in scoring last season in point guards. Like, stop playing, bro. Like, I can't do it. And like, I guess rolling with Sheedy, like hypothetically, if they do make the playoffs, Kyrie's gonna be a reason why. And if he do get traded, he's still gonna be a top 5 point guard wherever the hell he goes. That can be said for him. Yeah.
I do want to give you your respect. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant are the reason why the Nets even made it to the playoffs last season. And so I do respect Kyrie Irving. I just don't see – I can't put – if Luka's listed as the point guard, Kyrie shouldn't be listed as the point guard as well, which is my problem.
Tomato.
I'm just saying what ESPN told me.
So he don't even get honorable mention either, Stephen A?
Oh, we're going to get to the end of these lists, and then we're going to really talk.
You're right. But same thing I've been saying for Kyrie is can be said about Dame Lillard, who you still disrespected by putting him 10. Anywhere he goes, he was still second in scoring, third overall in scoring in the NBA. He was third team in All NBA last season. Stop playing with him, dog. 70. Stop playing with him, dog. Dame Dollar. Make sure y'all go check out his dope album too, by the way, if we're gonna bring up Dame Dollar. So yeah, Dame Dollar top 4. Number 3, of course, SGA, third point guard in scoring, 4th overall, one of the best closers in the NBA. He led all point guards in steal and block, so he is a two-way player. Knows how to use his height, his frame, and get to the places where he needs to be defensively. And the Thunder, like I said earlier, last podcast, they're gonna be a better team. SGA to me is a top 3 point guard right now, and he's gonna come into this season with that kind of swag, like, hey, nobody can hold me, which nobody can't. So, like I said, the Thunder gonna be a better team. SGA is gonna show he is a top 3 point guard coming to next season. Of course, number 2, Luka Doncic. That guy, I'm not gonna disrespect him. Led all point guards in scoring last season. Do I expect the same thing to happen again? Maybe. Because Sheedy, everything you just said about Steph Curry is why I'm so happy you went first. Do y'all not understand? People don't understand the role that Chris Paul is going to come into. If he's coming off the bench, perfect. But you're not going to tell me that Steve Curry ain't going to play him in the BS second quarter, third quarter minutes. And what's going to happen with Steph Curry? He going to be lighting y'all asses up. Are y'all serious right now? Steph Curry can go for MVP next season if he wanted to, because Chris Paul, who's a mastermind, whose knowledge is way ahead of Jordan Poole's, saw to bring him up. But y'all disrespecting the Warriors as a whole. This the season I'm taking the bandwagon off the Warriors fan for me. I'm here with them. Y'all gonna stop disrespecting my boys, and we gonna be lit next season. Stop playing. Steph Curry may go for MVP next season, and we'll have that talk. You know who we got for MVP.
Are they still trading Chris Paul too?
No, I told you they won.
Okay, I thought they were gonna trade him. My bad. I mean, maybe that's me.
No.
Okay.
And if they do, the Warriors still gonna get some value for him, but they're gonna be a better team because of him.
Okay.
And Steph Curry gonna be looking like Steph Curry from 2015. Cause we ain't heard nothing from him. Y'all young bucks, y'all go on ahead and run in the summer real quick. Let me rest up and get ready for a good season. My guy Draymond back. We ain't gotta worry about. We got good energy all around us. My boy, like, come on, man. We got youngsters that's gonna take the next step because Chris Paul. Like, come on, stop playing. Stop playing with us, dog. So yeah, Steph Curry, my number 1. So again, finish out top 5: Kyrie, Dame Lillard, SGA, Luka Doncic, and that guy, the best shooter we've ever seen, Steph Curry, that baby easy. I forgot call him Easy Man Sniper. That's Kevin Durant, the baby face assassin. That is Steph Curry.
Respect. All right, number 5 is where I got Jamal Murray as well, Sheedy. I have to hold like what he did in the playoffs because Joker did his thing, absolutely, but I mean Jamal Murray did his thing in certain games as well too. I won some parlays because of Jamal Murray putting up 30, 40 points. So I have to put him in the top 5, and I feel like Jamal Murray needed that to get back to what he was doing in the bubble because he was hooping in the bubble as well. We saw that. So he got hurt about a year or two, had to get his legs under him. He mentally wasn't all the way back to where he wants to be as a basketball player. And I think this is the year that NBA fans, NBA media give Jamal Murray the respect that he deserves. And I think that he also takes this and runs with it. We saw a point guard go in the Hall of Fame this past week in Tony Parker. And I get the same vibes for him. It's like an underappreciated point guard on a good, well-coached team that can at some point, if he keeps on his trajectory, he can get into the Hall of Fame based on how he plays and if they continue to win as an organization in Denver. So I got Jamal Murray at number 5. And number 4, this is where I got Dame Dollar. I got him at 4. He could be higher depending on if this Miami thing works out. Because right now in Portland is going to be trash next year. You got Scoot Henderson. You got Anthony Simons. You got Shaden Sharp. It's a young team. And so in my eyes, he will not be with Portland for long, whether it's in Miami, that's in Philadelphia, that's somewhere else, completely New Orleans, wherever it is. I think Dame Lillard is going to be motivated wherever he goes, even if he's in Portland for a couple of games, couple months. I think that Dame's still going to prove he's a top 4, top 3-ish type of point guard. 3 is where I have John Morant. You just blew my mind just having him outside of the top 10, but I understand that. I respect it. But I do think that John Morant comes back with a renewed focus. He's had time to be in the offseason and not necessarily see his team play. I know he feels pissed that he didn't get to play with Team USA, even though he's definitely going to be would have been useful for Team USA. But I think that this time of just being in the gym, like even on his birthday, people didn't like retweet this a lot or talk about it a lot. I was so happy to see him at Collierville Gym on his birthday. Like, he wasn't at the club with Casamigos. He wasn't holding a gun in his car. The man was in the lab. And that, to me, lets me know that he's focused and he's doing better. If y'all haven't seen T. Moran's video of explaining why his son messed up, that is, I also feel great about that as well, too. So I just feel like when Ja gets back, it's going to be revenge season for him. It's going to be redemption season for him. And I hope that he continues to stay out of trouble and continue to sustain himself as a top 3 point guard because he ain't above these next 2. At number 2 is where I got Wardell Stephen Curry. I got him at 2. I knew 2 was going to be mad about this. Steph Curry, great shooter.
You just do and say shit to piss me off, don't it?
I was with you on this one, too.
I got Steph Curry at 2. I mean, I don't have to explain Steph Curry. Y'all have already discussed it. I mean, I don't have to get into the details of it. Steph Curry, Hall of Fame, first ballot, greatest shooter of all time. It is what it is. But I think that Luka Doncic is going to turn it around this season for the Mavericks because they have to. And if they don't, Luka's going to be getting the F up out of there sooner rather than later at this point. So I am projecting Luka and the Mavericks with Tuke's boy Kyrie, who I don't have in my top 10. I'm projecting that the Mavericks are going to be better to the point where Luka's gonna show again why he's the best point guard in the NBA. So to recap, my top 5, at number 5 is Jamal Murray, number 4 is Dame Lillard, 3 John Morant, 2 Steph Curry, and 1 Luka Doncic.
I pop off with the questions.
Go ahead. Man. Well, let's do this. Let's look at everybody's list, and then we can ask questions from that list.
From the list, okay.
So Sheedy, your top 10 again.
Oh, y'all didn't even say this yet. I can't wait for this to happen. Y'all all have hit it, and no one's really said nothing yet. But after I read this list, then we'll hear it again. 1, Curry. I was about to say Luke. I was about to say Magic Johnson. Luka. SGA. Brunson. Murray. Fox. Young. Halliburton. Beal. Dame. And honorable mention was Harden.
Okay.
Who I didn't say. Do y'all all go through y'all's list first, and then I'll say my part?
Just say go ahead. Go say your part. Go ahead.
I don't have John Moran in my top 10 or honorable mention at all.
Y'all killing me, man.
I love you, Shitty.
Y'all
You got your brothers back, and I appreciate it.
Yep.
But why not?
Wow.
He's going to miss 25 games.
That's cool.
Is he going to come back and electrify us? Possibly so. But is there another chance that he doesn't do it as well? Right? And also, do we expect him, and we've talked about this before on this show, I believe, is he going to play the rest of those games that he has to do? Was it, let's say, 50-something games or whatever? He's not going to. That's fine. We'll talk about it later. I don't believe with the players that I've mentioned, these players are all going to play at least 60 games. At least. And to me, if we're going to change the CBA about putting teams in the All-NBA or whatever, the only person that might not make it, honestly, will be Dame, because if he did not trade from Portland, he's not going to play.
He's leaving Portland, so he has to be top 5. Like, wherever he goes, he's going to compete. Philly, Miami, New Orleans, he's going to compete some kind of way.
And I love it. If he gets traded to Miami, how many points are we looking for him to do?
Whatever he can get.
Boom.
Okay. I get that. I mean, regardless, he's in the top.
He got 70 with bums.
We need Dame to be Dame. We need Dame to be Dame.
There are two players that we could discuss here, there, Steph and Luka, and the other 8 can fill in whenever they want to be honest. But I will say for you, too, I didn't hear anything about Bradley Beal. And then was he?
I got Brad as a shooting guard, man.
Yeah, like in my mind, I get it.
If he is a point guard, he at the bottom of he honorable mention. Like, I'm not putting him top 10.
Honorable mention.
Not doing it.
I don't. Yeah.
Is James Harden still an honorable mention? Though,
James Harden is a shooting guard for me.
James.
But he's just as a point guard.
James Harden ain't top 10.
He's having a shooting guard.
I thank you, too. I appreciate your response.
Yeah.
He says he's not in your top 10. That's fine. But to average 20, we talked about Tyrese Halliburton averaging 20 and 10. James Harden averaging 20 and 10 all these seasons. I get it.
Is he playing with Philadelphia next season? Where he gonna be at? In China? He gonna be with Guangdong Tigers? Whatever.
That's why he's on my honorable mention, and and right above that is Dame, because I don't know where these players are going to be. But that's me. Right. And like I said, I don't have John Morant there. And on my top 10.
Why don't you have John Morant there? Why don't you have John Morant anywhere on top 10 or even honorable mention?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't. When he comes back, he's either going to show his ass too much or not show his ass enough.
Yeah, you're agreeing with the latter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't.
This is an audio podcast, so we need people to say. We need you to say it so people can hear you.
I do not believe that when James Harden, when John Morant comes back, he will assert himself as a top 10 point guard better than all of the 10 players that I have named ahead of him right now as we speak. It is going to take time, regardless of what you say. Yeah, he's been playing with them before. I hear all that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But mentally, I do not believe he will assert himself as a top 10 point guard for this season coming, in December, right before Christmas or whenever he's supposed to come back. So he's already missing a third, primarily of this. Well, not a third, 25 times 3 is 75.
About a fourth-ish, a little over a fourth.
In between a third and a fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't really put you on a top list when I know for sure you're not playing 25 games. For sure. That's not including the other days that you'll get for rest. Because he'll need it. That's like go ahead.
Oh hell, I'm coming back to everybody injured. I'm coming back to losing record. Shit, if I play, I ain't gonna make the All-Star game anyway. Shit, MVP, they throw that out the window because I ain't played 25 games and I don't qualify to make this shit. So what I'm playing for?
Just for people to wear the job ones. That's it. And it's no disrespect to the Grizzlies. No disrespect to John Morant. I loved your take that you took last podcast on Tuesday about them, and y'all need to go listen to how we talked about the playoffs. and I think it's foreseeable. Why not? This is how the Grizzlies build anyway. It's not like we're about to trade for somebody. Luke Kennard.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
if
you.
there are any Grizzlies fans still here, or
Give
listening,
me
on the audio
one more
podcast,
top 5 pick, and I'm good to go.
I
I'm
just
good
want
to
y'all to know
Grizzlies.
this is not a Grizzly hating podcast.
Go get Cooper Flag.
I still love the Grizzlies. I'm still rocking with Ja Morant. These two guys, they hate him. They hate the Grizzlies. So don't.
No,
direct,
you can't say we. No.
don't
We
don't
love the
direct
Grizzlies
your
more than
hate.
you love the Lakers.
Don't direct your hate to the Hardaway.
We love the Grizzlies
podcast.
more than you like the Lakers.
What?
We
We're
love the
talking about
Grizzlies
the Lakers
more
right
than you
now.
love the Lakers.
Like I said, do not direct any Grizzlies. Look, I still live in Memphis, y'all. You live in Phoenix and you live in Dallas.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's the reason.
Damn.
That's the rationale.
That's messed up, man.
Y'all can talk trash. I'm like, hey man, relax.
That's
Man.
messed up.
They gonna jack my car like they did Sane the other day. They jack Sane car, man. That's crazy.
Man.
But yeah, I'm gonna let two go. So you can do your top 10 again. We can kind
All right, so of course, Ja Morant, Bradley Beal, honorable mention because Bradley Beal still shooting guard to me. He will be in my shooting guard list. I don't care about that one. Screw that.
I'm with you on that.
Jamal Murray. I know can we kind of stop here real quick?
Yeah.
Jamal Murray is my 10th. What kind of numbers would he have to do for him to make the All-Star game? Because for me, even if he was like, let's say the hypothetical, he is top 5. What would he have to average? Because he won't be making an All-Star game either, and I can't put nobody in my top 5 that's not gonna make the All-Star game either.
Well, for me, I don't hold All-Star games in high regard. I hold All NBA.
Okay.
And can he make All NBA? I think he can. If he play like he did in the
What
playoffs.
would it take?
You said what?
What numbers wise, and not to throw analytics out, but it's gonna take more than 20 points a game, which I don't see him. Okay, 21, 22, cool. Is that gonna get him all NBA?
The way that I foresee it is, I think that because Denver's gonna win, so at least it should be Denver's gonna win so many games. One,
they were number 1 last season.
Well, I'm saying like I'm gonna get to my point, but they're gonna win so many games. They have the respect of the media now, knowing that what Jamal Murray did in the playoffs, they're going to be more inclined to vote for him because they see, he can do this. He's done it in a tougher environment. We know this man hooping way better than like some empty calories in Washington. If Tyus Jones scores 25 and 10 and they 12 and 35, I'm not voting for Tyus. Nah, I'm gonna give it towards the team that's actually winning. He's probably sitting more in the fourth quarter because they up by so many points. So we know that his per 36 numbers are probably better than somebody else's numbers. So I see it from a perspective of like they have historical context with Jamal Murray playing well in the finals. So now he has that respect that he can be kind of like Tony Parker. Like Tony Parker, he was like, he's cool, but he's like the third fiddle on the team with Ginobili and Duncan and previous years David Robinson, whatever. Like now you have that respect. Now that you've won the finals, Tony Parker won MVP back in 2006, 7, whatever it was, like Cavaliers. But I think it's less about the numbers and more about what he's proven. Compared to like SGA got great numbers, but you have not done. I gotta see you in playoffs, man. I got to see it. So that's where I'm coming from with Jamal Murray.
Yeah. To answer your question, I agree. I'm not really a huge fan of all-star games and even like what is it? Pro Bowls, whatever. Give me the all-pro team, give me the all-NBA teams. But to answer your question, if he is to start an all-star game or be in an all-star game with as many players as we have all listed in the West, he's going to have to put up 30 and damn near 15 just to be considered because the people are going to vote for who? Steph and Luka. Right off the bat. Like, that's going to be the votes for sure. Look at how many people voted for Warriors players this entire last season. I think Kevon Looney was on the list.
He was.
Kevon Looney.
That's Kevon.
He was a starter.
Hey, don't disrespect Wiggins. He was a starter. Stop playing with him.
I know. I'm just saying the fact that he was a starter.
And so I think Savage put a good point on it, and I think there's a problem that we have in the media. Now there's more respect for Jamal Murray and what he's done in those playoffs against the cream of the crop that the West was able to provide. And so he should be up there. But I respect your list as him being number 10 because at least
he on the list. That's cool with me. He on the list.
Yeah. To me, again, I think
one. Yeah, that was my honorable mention. I ain't gonna lie.
2, and then you got 8 players that are interchangeable. Go ahead.
Then 9 K Cunningham, 8 Tyrese Halliburton, 7 Jalen Brunson, 6 De'Aaron Fox, 5 Kyrie, 4 Dame Dollar, 3 SGA, 2 Luka, and 1 Steph Curry.
I'm not mad at most of the list. I'm just you expecting a lot from a team that won the least amount of games last year with Kate Cunningham. That's gonna be heavy expectations for Kate. Now he was hooping before he got hurt. He was hooping, and he was hooping towards the end of his rookie year, and then he got hurt. So I'm kind of concerned about his injury history. But he is a great player. I liked him when he came out of Oklahoma State. I do at some point expect him to be an all-star. I don't know about this upcoming year, but you've long said for years, third-year point guards. So I respect it. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. I'll say that.
I can't wait till that happens.
All right, my list: 10 Tyrese Halliburton, 9 Trae Young, 8 Aaron Fox, 7 Jalen Brunson, 6 SGA, 5 Jamal Murray, 4 Dame Lillard, 3 Ja, 2 Steph Curry, and 1 Luka Doncic.
Yeah, I guess you have Ja up high, and SGA low.
Yep,
your rationale.
So I mean, again, I'm saying all podcasts. I got to see it from Shea, and I think that they will make the playoffs, which is why I actually have him higher than what I would have had him before the end of the season. So him being at 6, right outside of that top 5, I think speaks, at least on my end, speaks highly of SGA. Can he get into that top 5? Absolutely. But I want to see him in the playoffs. So for comparison's sake, right? Anthony Edwards has been in the playoffs a couple of years. He's performed well despite his team not playing as well. But you better damn believe after watching him in previous years, watching him today put up 34 points for Team USA against Germany, I'm gonna have him somewhere on my top 5 list. This is what it's gonna be with Anthony Edwards. And so with SGA, I want to see him make the playoffs. I want to see the Thunder, even if they lose in the first round, I am okay with it. I just want to see y'all get in the playoffs, play, get some experience, because they got a great young team, got a great coach, great roster, great future. It still got draft picks. Don't need any more draft picks. You good unless you get Cooper Flagg, but you don't need nothing else for the Thunder. So I got him at 6 with the ability to move him in the top 5 depending on how the season goes.
Yeah, and to your point, I'll let Tuke ask whatever question he has. To your point, being established by Anthony Edwards, and I think, again, we're all going to unanimously, he's going to be top 5 for us next week. Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves, when you ask the Nuggets, were the hardest team for them to face. Which is crazy to say when you think about the other teams and the other stars, Hall of Famers that are on those specific teams. So it does say a lot for Anthony Edwards, especially for you to compare him to SGA. Well, I should say it means a lot for SGA to me in regards to how you compare him to Anthony Edwards and to how the Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves were compared by the champions and defending champions of the Nuggets. So that was just a comment right there. But I appreciate your cancer.
Vocab, come on, cancer. I like that.
I'm good, man. We already talked enough about Ja Morant being top 3 and all that, but you got Luka ahead of Steph. That's blasphemy.
I had him ahead of him last year. If I'm not mistaken.
You did. So
and I was a tiebreaker. And I said Luka last year.
Yeah, Luka last year. Yep.
You did. I appreciate you rolling with me this time, man. You're gonna be on the right side of history on this one. But one thing I did want to do is bring up, I guess, 3 point guards that we didn't talk about.
Okay.
One is directly aimed at you, Savage, because you spent 10 minutes last podcast talking about a player that may not even play next season. And by ESPN ranks, he is a top 10, and he didn't crack your honorable mention, but you know damn well who I'm talking about out of Brooklyn. Is he gonna crack the top 10 honorable mention? What are we talking about, dog?
So for those of you who are listening, and thank you, Tuke's out of here. He got kicked out.
I'm good.
I'm messing with Tuke. But I am still on the Ben Simmons hiatus. I've been saying this for the past several episodes. I am in the position of I have to see him play before I give a reaction. It's kind of like when the baby dad trying to get back with baby mama, and baby mama gotta see, like, I gotta see you be there for your child. You gotta come through at the birthday party, pick him up from school, spend a weekend with him. So I gotta see. I have a little bit of hope in Ben Simmons, but I gotta see it with my eyes. But again, I am still on the Ben Simmons hiatus.
I want him to be great as well, man. You know how I feel about him, but I'm kind of slow. I've sold some stock. I've sold some stock.
You sold some
I've
stuff.
sold some Ben Simmons stock.
Man. Okay.
And I've still got some. Not that many. You know what I'm saying? Just in case it do happen to go. Let me see. The second one will be Tyrese Maxey. Top 10 talent for sure. That's a name none of us brought up. What y'all think? Of course, I got the Sixers going back. I mean, what y'all think?
So again, ESPN has James Harden at point guard, Tyrese Maxey at shooting guard. So
Okay.
I placed him there. Now here's my thing, and this is the conundrum that I hope does happen. James Harden leaves, and you give Maxey back the keys as the point guard.
That's what needs to happen.
Yeah,
that's what needs to happen.
And to me, that will elevate Tyrese because Maxey's on my list. I didn't mention him, but I literally had to delete him. Like, dang, but they haven't mentioned as a shooting guard.
Gotcha.
And so I'm just sticking to that. But again, what I just said, give it to James Harden, put the ball back in Maxey's hands, let him create. He can give you the 20 and 10 that James Harden can do for less money and less heartaches.
Less money for now, because he about to be up in a second.
For now.
He about to be up in a second. But yeah, I had Maxey was one of those I had to like look at as I was going through my top 10 and deleting. And I mean, like I said, it was a lot of point guards on the honorable mention list. I'm sure it's gonna be more than two that we didn't mention, but I like Tyrese Maxey. I would prefer if Maxey had the keys to the point guard position. I said it last episode, and I triggered some Sixers fans in our mentions about Philadelphia being a toxic environment. I don't think folks know I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and I am fully aware of how toxic that can be. So, but yeah, Maxey, I like Maxey. I hope James Harden gets traded to wherever he gonna go, and let Maxey hoop, man. Y'all got young talent. Stop letting 35-year-old players come in and run y'all team, man. Like let Maxey hoop.
Yeah. That was his third.
Cool. And one more for me, my cousin. Of course, I got to show him some love. LaMelo Ball. Yep. Of course, he hooped for the Hornets, but I do got to bring him up because, again, he still averaged 23, 8 and 6 last season.
Yeah, before he got hurt.
It's not bad for a bad Hornets team. I know it's kind of numbers gauging, but what y'all thoughts about LaMelo? What can he do to crack the top 10?
I gotta see Charlotte have a cohesive team for like a year, not even 2 years. Like Jordan sold the team, so that's step one. That's good. They drafted Brandon Miller from Alabama, which I think is a good fit next to him. As far as like, it's a low maintenance play. Don't need the ball. I would have picked Scoot if I was them, but I understand why they did it. You got Mark Williams, you got Scary Terry, you got Gordon Hayward. It's supposed to be well functioning at some point. You mentioned Ben Simmons. I'm kind of selling my stock on LaMelo, man. Like, I got to see if is it going to be like real food or empty calories. My theory, thinking long term, LaMelo will be a Laker at some point. That's my theory.
Come on, LeVar.
I think him and Lonzo will be.
Come on, LeVar.
That's my theory. That's my theory.
Come on, LeVar.
That's my theory.
Be quiet. Man.
Give it 3-4 years ish. Lonzo gonna get healthy. He gonna rehab. He gonna be cheap. He gonna go play with his brother. He wants to play with his brother at some point. I'm sure that's what LeVar wants. So that's my theory. But I think that I sold my stock. I still got stock a little bit, but I gotta see it to believe it with LaMelo and the Hornets.
Yeah, and this will allude to my next point about, when we talk about this other topic. But the Hornets also got some money that they're playing players that have no business.
Yep.
No disrespect to Gordon Hayward, but what have you done for me lately? Or
right.
the past 5 to 6 years? And unfortunately, I mentioned his name, and guess who wrote out the red carpet for his? Ooh, I almost called him the wrong. We, the Miami Heat, wrote out the red carpet for him when it was time for free agency last time. I'm so glad he didn't bite that cheese. And so I will say that I think what hurts him is the amount of publicity that he gets. He just got a max contract, I believe. Mm-hmm. and the team that is around him, along with the coach. Like, is the coaching staff good? Or like, I don't even know who's the coach.
I forgot that coach was, to be honest.
Yeah. And so like, there's a lot of interesting factors, but the only person I can give you is Lonzo. I mean, they got a couple other guys that are coming up. Was it Washington? But he's not a top 10 point guard for me yet. Put him in a scenario where I also feel like he's the number one option at the same time. And that makes it difficult for him because he's not really a shooter like a Steph Curry. Steph Curry can be your number one option and your best point guard. Luka Doncic can be your number one option and the best point guard. That's not really his game.
Right.
His game is more to facilitate, maybe score at the cup a little bit easier, but they need him to do a lot more than the other players that we listed. And it's just not necessary for him. It's just because where he got drafted, man, to be honest, in that organization.
Good points, gentlemen. Good points. No, that's it for me. I think like everything y'all said about LaMelo, definitely true. The numbers don't lie for himself. I think they did hurt themselves, and I'm gonna stand on this by drafting Brandon Miller. I don't see it because they are expecting him to hopefully be a number one option. To let LaMelo be LaMelo, I can't see them being successful with it. Prove me wrong. Brandon Miller proved me wrong, but I can't see what they see in him. I just can't. I think they made a mistake not drafting Scoot Henderson, who we know is a surefire can help this team win.
You say that too, and that like feeds into my theory or my conspiracy was that Melo gonna leave. Go ahead and get you a point guard, and then you could trade Melo and get a lot back for him. That's why I wanted to draft Scoot, because you just get as much talent as possible, and that's what Houston is doing. Houston literally said we got Jabari Smith Jr., we got Amen Thompson, we got Tari Eason, we're gonna bring in Dylan Brooks, we're gonna bring in Fred VanVleet, and then at some point we're gonna flip this talent and get something bigger and better down the road.
I can't wait. I know exactly the perfect team for that. Oh my god.
Yeah, but
it's crazy. I thought you were going to say Fred VanVleet on this one because I believe he kind of made our list last season.
Nah,
but
he made my list.
He had a bad year. He had a bad year last year. It was bad. It was very, very inefficient. He just shot chucking. It was bad. Very, very bad.
I agree.
So, and it'll be worse, I think, next year with Houston. Houston will be a bad team. Very bad team.
They're gonna be funny to watch though.
Best believe I'm going to that game. Grizzlies in Houston. I'm going. I'm definitely going to that game. I gotta see Dylan Brooks. I gotta see it.
Do it for me, man. I'm gonna FaceTime me. Like that FaceTime me. I got some frustration that on myself.
I got to. All right, we can wrap it up here with Shitty. You had an idea for NBA rivalry week. I remember last year when they introduced this and we talked about it on the podcast. I was excited about it because I felt like, again, Vince McMahon, Adam Silver, tap into being a booker of like different events. And we looked at the rivalry week televised games and they kind of fell flat. So Sheedy has a concept that he wants to describe what could be a better option for a rivalry week.
Yes, Adam, if I may. Mr. Silva, it doesn't matter to me. Listen, you have some discrepancies in the NBA, and one of your biggest discrepancies in the NBA that people talk about the most, or one of the topics that comes up heavily, is small market teams. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about this rivalry week where you got San Antonio playing Houston, because I hope to God not to really turn that on for now. But what I'm saying to you, Adam, if you're listening to me, let's try to solve this together. What if January was New Year, New Me, right, so to speak? But in the month of January, you only televised when there were small market teams or their home team, right? So let's say, I don't know, the Warriors playing the Hornets, so to speak, right? And you start to build up more for Charlotte. You start to build up more for the San Antonios. Houston's not a small market team either. Milwaukee's not really a small market. But anyway, you start to build up those teams because you're going to commercial break talking about how great these cities are and places are in Utah, but nobody's going to go there for that. Now, what that also does is on national TV, you can see, because everyone's going to be watching national TV, except when it's, Saturdays and Sundays, because it's prime time for football as well, right? This is the playoff time. you're going to be able to get a chance to see these players that may be on the trading block as well, because February gets into the trading season. So national TV, let's see what you got. Let's see who I can get from the Rockets. Where's Fred VanVleet going to land? How much will it take for me to get Lonzo off that team? Or if I'm a player entering 2024, right? Because 2024 is the next big free agency class, I would say, but I'm not going to get into that. Then maybe I do want to go play for Charlotte. Maybe I do want to go play in Detroit with Cade. Maybe I'll take the pay cut to go somewhere else to play with these young guys, because all we get is 40-plus games of LeBron, 40-plus games of the Warriors, and that's it. But if January was just dedicated solely to small market teams being the home team, and there was advertisement about why these cities are so great during the commercial breaks, that would help build a market for you to get players to want to sign there. Again, we went over this, was this last episode or episode before that? And Savage was scrolling for 3 years, plus trying to figure out who was the last free agent signing for the Portland Trail Blazers. And he had the nerve to first tell us Carmelo Anthony, after he got done playing 6 games for the Rockets, half a season for the Thunder, and so on and so forth. Then had the nerve to tell me Evan Turner from the Buckeyes. Yeah, I get it, but he was on the downfall of his time too. I'm trying to help you with your small market problem. I'm also trying to give people a chance to see these tradable players that can possibly be on contenders, and or those players that are leaving their teams in free agency in 2024 to actually join another small market team to start to balance out what you want. Now, I know this will take a hit viewership wise. Yes, I know. But scared money don't make no money, Adam. So, and I'll leave it at that.
For me, I don't think it'll work because it make too much sense. And the people that call the shots don't normally think about shit like this. And I say that, but I really mean it. Like, let's put in context, right? Ja Morant's success, I'm not gonna call him a mistake because I don't want to sound harsh, but because Memphis rock with him and we love him the way we do, and the fact that he is the electrifying talent that he is, he was able to skyrocket popularity rise, right? And that's because we, as the low market Memphis Grizz fans that we are, got the opportunity, the few opportunities that we had, we showed out for our boy. We made sure, hey, we were rocking. We watched. We made sure we were gonna have our asses at the FedEx Forum. Everything that you said, Shitty, can happen for the next quote unquote Ja Morant, and it can skyrocket there because the NBA is in a particular place where they don't know who their future superstar is going to be. Is it going to be somebody from overseas? Again, you're going to start to have marketing more towards them if that's going to be the case. Is it going to be somebody that look like us? Hopefully it is, but still you're going to have to find a way to market towards us. And if you got Cooper Flag coming in, who of course look like them, whatever team he going to have to be on, you're going to have to market towards them. And that's what these people do that we're asking to think about, Shitty. Are they? No, because it makes way too much sense. Cade Cunningham can be the future of the NBA. How many games the Pistons got next season on live TV? How many got in LaMelo Ball? We talk about LaMelo Ball like the superstar he is. How many games he got on NBA?
That's a good point too, because I can't remember a time that I've seen Charlotte or like Detroit on like national TV. I cannot remember, like, because I remember when they had the Pacers and I watched it. I'm like, okay, Pacers, fast running gun team, Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, no, cool. I have not seen LaMelo Ball on like ESPN or TNT. I've seen him on like their broadcast with their crazy ass broadcaster who be screaming. And the Pistons, I ain't watched the Pistons because they weren't good last year, but like I ain't heard of them since Chauncey Billups.
You didn't see Doris Burke pull up, did you?
And that's the thing. And that's the thing too, Savage. It combines the whole thing when I say don't make it a fucking rivalry week because there are no rivals left in the NBA.
Yeah.
Call it a throwback week. Throw the throwback jerseys on these boys. Let's go at it. Let's say, for instance, the Indiana Pacers and Miami Heat. They're not rivalries, but there's some Reggie Miller and Mark Jackson all them back in the day hooping. Even LeBron and Paul George. Like, there's some context there that can be said. And Tyrese Halliburton is one of the upcoming point guards in the NBA, let alone that team.
Yeah.
It's strategic marketing that I don't think they're having success in. Like rivalry week, are we like? Let's look at the rivalry teams. Sixers and Nets, yeah, they rivalries like the city thing, but
I don't like
looking
that
at
shit,
on the
man.
court,
Sixers and Nets,
you
man.
get rivalry.
Get that much out of here.
I'm happy they still keeping the Grizz and the Warriors thing around. I'm not gonna lie, but still, January 25th, hell, is John Morant gonna be playing?
Should be.
You know,
we'll take a game off. That's what you mean? Okay.
Warriors Raptors. That's not our rivalry.
Raptors.
Like, come on,
Rhinos in
dog.
2019.
That's a whole different era of basketball. 2019.
Like, come on, man. Celtics and Heat. Okay, of course, cool.
I'm cool with
Suns
that.
and Mavericks is becoming something, but
Yeah.
it's
I'm
becoming
cool with that
something.
'cause
So call it a
Luka-
throwback.
Luka-
They got some of
Luka
the
and
best
Devin.
throwback jerseys. Throwback.
D-Brook. Luka
But
and
shit, I love your point, bro. I love it, and it's a great marketing tool to make lower teams pay attention and turn the city up. Are they gonna do it?
I could rock with that, man. They could probably even do it similar to like when you just like she mentioned, advertising the young players. Like we just showing Victor and Scoot and the players from the last 2 drafts or whatever, and just make that work, man. Because right now it's like I'm not watching the Lakers no more. I'm just not in the regular season. Because what's the point? I'm gonna see them in the playoffs at some point. I'm gonna watch them then. I'm not watching the Lakers play the Warriors again. I'm not watching the Suns play the Mavericks again. Like, give me something new, man. Like, matter of fact, most of last year, and we can end it right here. Most of last year, when I had League Pass, I'm watching the other teams. I'm watching the Kings. I'm watching the Jazz. I'm watching the Pacers because I'm tired of watching the same teams, man. That's literally like the reason why they have national media when they show like these teams. That's why folks become fans of teams, of like the same teams. Prime example, Dallas Cowboys. A lot of players, a lot of people, a lot of fans became fans of Dallas Cowboys because they showed them on TV every freaking Sunday. That's why I became an Eagles fan. I got tired of these folks on TV. Whoever can beat them, please beat them. And I'll be damn McNabb and them beat the Dallas Cowboys. So grow more fans for these other teams, man. That's what the NBA needs to do. And that's why like you see leagues like in Europe with like soccer. Where everybody's a fan of like Chelsea and Barcelona and Real Madrid. There isn't just like a focus on one particular team, Lakers, Boston, whatever. They spread them out a little bit more. So, like Tu said, man, it makes too much sense. So, it ain't going to happen. What do we know? What do we know, man? So, all right. Before we get out of here, I do want to acknowledge that FIBA, Team USA did beat Germany. They were getting their ass kicked at first by Dennis Schroeder and Franz Wagner and Mo Wagner, but they came back and won. Ant-Man had like 34 points. Tripp had 6 blocks, I think. Yeah, 6 blocks, 7 points, 8 rebounds. So Team USA about to get up out of here. They going to, isn't it the Philippines, I think, FIBA?
That's a good question. I'm not sure.
I think it's in the Philippines, but they better get up out of here, go to the Philippines. So we will try to squeeze in some FIBA updates as they come. Hopefully, Team USA does what we know that they can do is win a gold medal. But next week, top 10 shooting guards. So we're going to continue this on and get it popping. We got one more comment in here. Who commented? Shout out to Inside Scoop with Spivey rocking with us. Great show.
Fine. 2 hours. 2 hours. Get on back.
Yeah, we're about to be over on LBR within 2 hours to do some NFL talk, but we will see y'all next week for the top 10 shooting guards. Stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.